Deepak sir?
Yes sir.
Sir, வேற யாருக்கா கோர்ஸ் கொடுக்கணுமா?
இல்ல சார், ஆக்சுவலா ஒரு அலுமினி ஒருத்தர் வருவாங்க. நான் வரப்ப நான் உங்களுக்கு நேம் சொல்றேன்.
ஓகே ஓகே சார். சரி, நீங்க ஷார்ப்பா 10 o'clock ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க சார் நீங்க ஈவென்ட்.
ஓகே சார், ஓகே நான் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணிடுறேன் சார். Sir, shall I start, sir? Sir?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, so good morning to everyone present here, the future engineers and their parents and others. So there are about 150 participants now. So I welcome you to the outreach program which is being done by the SRM University Ramapuram campus. And I hope everybody will be very much interested in knowing about the artificial intelligence and the machine learning on recent trends and how to choose your career with respect to computer science and engineering. So instead of me starting the session, so I have our HOD, Dr. K. Raja, who has been having 27 years of academic experience with respect to the engineering. And he's our head of the department at CSE now. So I will request him to address the crowd so that it will be more apt for you guys to know an introduction about our department and our achievements and with us inside the Ramapuram campus.
Thank you, Deepak.
Thank you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yeah. Good morning, all the participants and our faculty members, SRM Ramapuram campus. I am Dr. K. Raja, heading the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Under our department, 5 more departments are there. We are offering BTech Computer Science with Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning, BTech Computer Science with Big Data Analytics, BTech Computer Science with Cyber Security, BTech Computer Science with IoT, Internet of Things, and special course BTech Computer Science in association with Tata Consultancy Services, CSBS, Computer Science and Business Systems. And this year, hopefully, we are going to start gaming technology BTech and cloud computing BTech. This is waiting for approval, AICT approval. We'll get it soon. So our department has plenty of memorandum of understanding with the industries to educate the current trend using in the industries. So first of all, as a participants, you think about why education. You all know that the human being average age is supposed to be 75 to 80 years, or some people will live out till 100 years. So almost most of the young generation people, now you people are starting from school in the age of 3 years old when you are. It's called the pre-KG, LKG, UKG. Then after completing 12 years of studies, now you are going to choose your career path, which course is going to helpful. At an average Indian spending more than 24 to 25 years for education. You should ask yourself why I am spending this much year. Why our Indian education system force every citizen of Indian should study this education system, spending lifespan 1/4. You know, because of this, you are going to be happy for the next 50 years, either 2/4 or it may be extended to some more years. Then the third quarter supposed to be 1/4 is fully spending for education, 2/4 is going to useful for earning a money 50 years. Then rest part you are going to study yourself, whom you are at the age of 60, only thinking that what I studied, what I earned, how I developed my family, what is the inner side of myself, how God created me, where is God and all. So it's after 70, everyone searching that one. So you understand that the education only going to convert you all into the purpose. You should ask yourself, what is the purpose of my birth? Then I should be standing on the crowd. Why I should be standing on the crowd? For that, what I have to do? So education is the only tool you become a top. So that only going to give answer for all the questions. You are going to find out who you are. You are going to give thanks to your parents, society, and you are going to do service to your own relatives, friends, family. So the education is the only tool. It is going to purify yourself. So with that, now you are after completing a +2, which course I have to choose? The course supposed to be going to be after completing your studies, it is going to be a practicing. Your entire earning of life, you need to practice by the education what you perceived or what you received from the university. So that is why the education is very, very important. Here you all to choose which course is suitable. I hope you know now the computer science is popular one. Every industry is without computers, the industry is no more. So every industry going to merge with the computer science. So now I hope you all aware of that the new courses are introduced across the country. So our SRM students, alumni are studying in overseas. They completed PhD in gaming technology. I hope, what if gaming technology? Normally family members are shouting, you don't play game all the times. But the games give decision making, improving the decision making power, logics, and how you are thinking. Out of box thinking is how going to work. So computer science has plenty of scope, plenty of new revenue avenues, new opportunities. The job structure has been changed. When I completed my BE BTech in the year 1993, the only post is called it as a programmer, then EDP manager. You know, after 5-10 years, there is a software engineer, then there is called it as a project leader, project manager kind of thing. Now, you know, there are plenty of different things, script writer, artist, gaming technologist, writer, ethical hacking. Previous days and all, the belief is you should not hack anything. Now the company itself, before launching the product, it's supposed to be prevented from all type of attacks, so that they trained their own employees to hack their own product to avoid by others. So it's called ethical hacking. So you should understand these type of new job opportunities are going to be available, and challenging things are available only in engineering education. This 4 years is called it as a professional course, going to turn your life totally, and also it is going to be very your achievements or your aims, your goals converted is possible only by the education. I hope now today's topic is very interesting one. What is the real-time application of artificial intelligence and machine learning? Our Deepak is our one of the faculty strong in artificial intelligence and machine learning. I hope your session is going to be very useful today. Listen that subject, then you can, based on that, you can decide which course you are going to be. Our campus has more than 4,000 people studying in our department. Already most of our alumni are completing their higher education in overseas universities and doing a job at most of the multinational companies. Recently also we have signed a memorandum of understanding Because of that, it is not a curriculum based teaching alone, it is a flexible curriculum. If the industry says that this is the new technology we used in industry, immediately that technology going to be the curriculum in your semester system. And the semester abroad program is there, that is called SAP. If you are interested to pursue one particular semester only from overseas university, our university has a tie up with various reputed universities across the globe. So you, after the screening, you are deputed to that particular university 6 months, you studied there and come back with that credential. That credential are mapped with our SRM credential, and if it is addition is there, you are going to do additional courses, that's all. So it going to give exposure to how the overseas education and all. So memorandum of understanding not only with the industries, we have memorandum of understanding with the global universities. So such a way we are going to give space to the students to learn new things, not restricted to only academics. And if you have an entrepreneurial attitude, well and good, we are going to give exclusive space for that. You are going to, most of our computer science students already entrepreneurship and earning money before completing their graduation itself. So totally recently through our MOU, two students, third year students got a summer internship at University of London. Because of memorandum of understanding with the MIT Square One company, they provided opportunity. Two of our students going to do internship in cyber security at Professor Thompson. He is a leading professor in cyber security, University of London. So these type of plenty of opportunities are available. It is not restricted to only studies. It is going to be identifying your extra skill other than studies, whichever your focused area, your interested area, that opportunities are available at our campus. I hope today's session going to be given by Deepak, enlighten the basics and other fundamental about artificial intelligence, machine learning. All the very best for all the participants. If you have any clarity, I am ready to approachable through our admission desk. You can get it out. Any doubts? Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, opportunity given by admission department.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, so I will continue with what sir has
You go ahead, Deepak. All the very best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, guys. So it's almost like what our HOD said. So we have a dynamic campus here at SRM Ramapuram for learning and enjoying what you do in here. Okay. So today I'm not going to much bore you about the technical stuff which is present in the artificial intelligence or machine learning, but I'm going to just give you an overall view of what is happening out there on the world. Okay. So give me a second. I will share my screen and we'll start with it. Okay, guys. So, so today we will be watching what are the recent trends and real-time applications with respect to artificial intelligence and machine learning. But before getting into it, you should know whether you are, what are the basic things that a higher secondary student would think of. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just trying to empathize myself in your place. So what I was doing, okay, what I was doing when I was pursuing my higher secondary education, and the time lapse and the time change which has happened. Okay, well, by that time I did not have much of an exposure are like you guys. Okay, so now we are conducting you the outreach program and giving you an overall idea of what is happening around the world with respect to engineering and other things. But when I was there in your place, so when I was in my higher secondary education, that is much of a rude time to me. Okay, so I did not have much of a choice. So just by whatever some of the friends or the seniors, by asking them what will be up. So I have joined engineering. Okay, so it should not be like that. So for that purpose, so our campus has decided to conduct this Ignite program, where for each day we will be having the introduction for different engineering courses. Okay, so today we'll start with the computer science and engineering, and as you know, the computer science and engineering, it's interdisciplinary, guys. So it is in everywhere, whatever the medical, or you can think of rocket science, rocketry, whatever, it's everything is there. But in the beginning, instead of just giving you an absurd idea on artificial intelligence and machine learning, I will try to cope you up with the higher secondary thinking you have. Okay, the preliminary rules, what are the preliminary rules you are having? Okay, so what is your thought process as a higher secondary student? So your thought process will be like, you should score good marks in your higher secondary. Then you have your dreams about your college. Maybe engineering, it might be engineering or arts or medicine or whatever it is. Okay, to study well and score good marks in college. So once you have entered your college life, then you will be trying to study well and score good marks in college. So this is what you will be having in your mind. And finally, what happens after 3 years? You want to get placed in a good job with an astonishing salary. Yeah, that is for sure. Okay, so that is your basic mindset. And what happens after that? So I am just giving you a forecasting idea of what you would be thinking as an engineering student. Okay, so after getting a good job, what you'll be? So you will be going for a world to say whatever. So I was having it in my bucket list, right? Then yeah, after that you get settled. Then finally you enjoy life. Yeah, so I was also thinking the same when I was joining engineering, but things got a sudden twist. It seems like when I completed my post graduation and get into PhD, so I thought an higher secondary student must have a different kind of thinking, different kind of thought process, okay, rather than what I had. So for that purpose, I'm just giving you this presentation. Okay, so scores are not enough, guys. So scores are not enough. Your skills really matters. Okay, and take time to think about what you like to do. Okay, and think of the world around you, what you want to do. So what inspires you, it is what is most important. So what inspires you? It might be cinema, it might be computer science. Okay, it might be machine learning, it might be the applications you can create. You are a critical thinker. Okay, so these kind of things will drive you, will motivate you to what you have to do. Okay, so challenge yourself in high school, not much with the marks, but don't overwhelm yourself. Instead, explore yourself on multiple choices. Get into some co-curricular activities. Just know what you have to do. Just know what is happening around the world. What is the demand the world which is creating to you? So based on that only, you will be having an interest over what you study. Okay, so get as much as education as you can. Okay, talk with as many as adults as possible about careers and colleges, but not like me. So you cannot get shallow thoughts or shallow suggestions from people. Okay, you must be speaking to someone who has the caliber to let you know what is happening out there, out in the wild. Okay, so what is happening out there in the wild? So what is with the technology, what is going on? So refresh your mind with those things, with those stuff. So interact with the PhD scholars, interact with the MTech students. So go through your IIT syllabus. Even though you might not solve the questions, at least you get to know and see what is just happening over there. So whether can you solve those questions? If those questions interest you to solve, you have interest to solve those questions, then you are definitely an engineering. Okay, and also remember that everyone must follow his or own path in the life. Okay, so be clear on what you choose. So fix your interest. Okay, so in the beginning it is very hard to what I am saying, to pursue what I am saying, but I think this particular presentation will give you an idea of computer science engineering, that whether you should be joining or not joining. Okay, so even as a higher secondary student, so this applies for you all the time. Even though when you are working, you should never stop learning. You should read, grow, and expand your mind all the time. So as an undergrad student, as a student, as a working employee, this is the basic justice you do as an engineer. Okay, always try to project your career with some real life problems. Yeah, so think of what are the things happening around the world, what are the things, the discrimination and the global warming things or whatever. So keep some real life problem in your mind. Okay, so think of it and think of you pursuing it, then how you'll be doing it. Okay, so based on this only a scientist will be evolved, guys. So based on solving the real life problems, if you are a critical thinker, you can do wonders, okay, with respect to engineering. Okay, so this is Michelle Obama during the college, the graduation function at Tuskegee University in 2015. So see what she says. So what is very important in your life, guys? Maybe it feels like you're supposed to go to law, okay, but what you really want to is to teach little kids. Maybe your parents are expecting you to come back home after you graduate, but you are feeling a pull to travel the world. So I want you to listen to those thoughts. Okay, so I want you to listen to those thoughts. I want you to act with both your mind but also your heart. Okay, and no matter what path you choose, I want you to make sure it's you choosing it, okay, and not someone else. So that's why, guys, so because of this, you guys might have fixed it as an engineering path, but you might not be knowing what are the real-time applications, what are the things happening around there, and what are the things you are interested on, and what things you can show some justice to. Okay, so I will give you a very simple basic idea on all those things in this talk. Okay, coming to engineering, so instead of just speaking, I will give you an interactive video on how the engineering works in an artistic way. Okay, so that I think you can enjoy it for the next 5 minutes. Okay.
What is engineering? Let's take a moment to think about your morning. The alarm on your phone goes off at 7:03. You drag yourself to the shower and blast yourself with perfectly warm water in an attempt to wake up. You smear your toothbrush with too much toothpaste and scrub yourself into a foamy mess of minty freshness. You're running late, so you skate downtown, weaving through the commuters, dart across the road, barely making the lights, and jump on the train just before the doors beep shut. There's a couple of stops to go, so you pull out your phone and play a few games of Angry Birds. Alarms, trains, traffic lights, video games, toothpaste, all these things were made possible by engineers. But what prompts an engineer to improve our world? Well, they solve problems. Problems are an engineer's inspiration, and maths and science are the creative tools they use to solve them. Problems like making your alarm go off at the right time, or making sure your toothpaste has just the right balance of chemicals to give you that perfect smile, or even making a game so addictive it's almost impossible to put down, if that really is a problem. Now let's head over to the airport and jump on an aeroplane. Aeroplanes. They're so easy to take for granted. But don't forget, you can fly! Before aeroplanes, flying was quite a bit more challenging. Every bit of your plane has been touched by engineers. A mechanical engineer designed the engine. A mechatronics engineer devised the controls. The fuel? Extracted by mining engineers and refined by chemical engineers. The navigation systems? Electrical and software engineers created those. Yep, a whole team of engineers. Now we've landed in Dubai, home of the Burj Khalifa. It's the world's tallest building at 829.8 metres high. It's also in one of the world's hottest environments, reaching up to 50 degrees in summer. One of the difficulties of building the Burj was trying to figure out how to set 45,000 cubic metres of reinforced concrete in such extreme weather. The solution? A clever method of pumping iced liquid concrete into the 55,000-ton steel frame during the night. The result? A building that's vertically over 800 metres high, rather than horizontally all over the ground. Now let's jump into our time machine and go back to Saturday. Saturday, March 1932. The Sydney Harbour Bridge is about to open. The bridge is a marvel of civil engineering, and a pretty cool place to set off some fireworks. Since 1815, people had been talking about building a bridge to connect the two sides of the harbour. The problem was that the harbour was so incredibly wide. How could a bridge span such a width and support its own weight. The solution? The Romans. Well, actually, it was an idea they came up with. The arched bridge works by transferring the weight into horizontal forces and bracing them at the ends of the arch. But what about the future? What problems will engineers solve next? Will we finally have affordable solar power? Or robots that can perform life-saving surgery? Or a building that's so tall your view is of outer space? Or how about finally engineering a working hoverboard? Seriously, we've waited long enough. So what is engineering? It's solving problems. It's taking crazy, out there ideas and seeing if they're actually possible. And when they are, the idea is shared with the world to make all our lives better.
Okay, so I think you have almost got an idea. Okay, so you are the game changers, guys. You are the guys who save the world. Okay, so you are the future of this particular earth we live on. Okay, so whatever the technology which comes in, so whatever you think, you think of it, whether you can pursue it, you can complete a particular product or project. Okay, whatever which will be useful to the the people who are living on this planet. Okay, so to make their life simple, so this is what you are going to do. So it might be on both the scales. It may be just a something like you are helping with the day-to-day activities with the help of ML or electronics or whatever you pursue, and it may be also the real world problems. Okay, something like the global warming and etc., the other things which the world is currently drowning on. Okay, I mean the particular planet is drowning on. So you can help with everything, guys. You are basically the superheroes. You should for that the first thing is that you should be knowing your world. Okay, you should be knowing your world. You should be knowing about the surroundings and the demands which is being created out there in this world. So you must be very much clear. You must do a bit of a research before you join into engineering on what you want to pursue. So that is what this is all about. Okay, so basically when I empathize myself in your place, so what is an engineering? What is engineering on your perspective? So what is an engineering in my perspective when I was pursuing my higher studies? Okay? I mean like my high secondary. So there were like so what the idea I was having is like there were like 4 type of engineers. Okay, so there were software engineers, there were civil engineers, there are mechanical engineers, there are electrical and electronics engineers. So how I chose CS, how I chose information technology to pursue this, right? So it was very dumb, guys. I say it simple. So it is very dumb for me to choose the information technology that it would have less of a mathematics, but it's not true. The computer science have too much of mathematics first. Okay, so how did I choose my engineering in the past? As a software engineer, more of a sit and do profession, and it offers high salary too. Okay, so I thought it would be a good profession for me to pursue. Okay, then civil engineer. Okay, I thought, oh my god, I cannot manage, but I don't know. So I did not see the motivation video like you guys do, like building a bridge which can withstand its own weight. Okay, so it's all the wonders of civil engineering. Okay, so I thought civil engineer I cannot manage. I mean, too much of physical work over there. Okay, what about mechanical engineer? Okay, I thought, God, no, there will be too much of mathematics to deal with. But I thought, yeah, I mean, mechanical, the mathematics is too much to deal with. Yes, this is because, guys, mathematical modeling is very much important. Solving problems are very much important for an engineering student. Okay, so in order to make things work, in order to make a flight to work, these mathematics has to be used. Actually, the basic thing is that you combine the philosophy with the science and technology. You combine philosophy with science and technology to make the lives of a people better. Okay, up to a scale, in the next scale. So you combine the philosophy, basically what you want to do into the world, and the technology and the science which is present. That is what you have studied for the 4 years. So this will be helping you to design some innovative products for the world, so which will help them to overcome a great problem or to make their lives easier. Okay, so and I thought of being an electrical and electronics engineer too, but I thought it's not my league. I'm not much into electrical or electronics by that time, so I thought I would choose software engineering. Okay, So this is how I chose my engineering. I'm saying that you should not be choosing your engineering course by this way. It is very first thing to do. So that is why we are here to shower you some broad spectrum of knowledge about what is happening in each and every department of engineering, so that you will get a hold that in which department you can join. Okay, so basically what really is engineering? The engineering is called as the action of working artfully to bring something about. Okay, so this is very important, guys. So the action of working artfully. Okay, so if you are not artistic enough to pursue engineering, then one engineering seat is gone wasted. So that's what is all about. Okay, so you should be artistically attached to your work, whatever you are doing. So you should be giving your 100% on how things work, on understanding things. So from A to Z, everything you should be like, it's not like just reading and writing your exams and everything, guys. So skill set matters here. So for that, you should be showing some effort and basic justice to what you pursue. So for that, the action of working artfully to bring something about. So this is what the basic justice the engineering needs from you. Okay. So what are you going to pursue? So it is basically, it's you might think there is a lot of difference between the arts and the engineering program, but it's basically arts. The engineering is basically arts. It's basically arts with emerging technologies on your hand, guys. So there is no much difference. Okay, so what is the need for you to realize this beforehand? So you realize the essence of engineering or you stay jobless. So this is for sure. So I was being jobless when I completed my BTech. So since I did not get much into in the engineering part, so I don't want you guys to be like that. Okay, so you must be an enthusiastic engineer, a credible engineer who might know all the terms and the recent trends which is happening around the world, whatever you feel, whatever the course you pursue. Okay, so don't be a substandard engineer. So substandard engineer or today's the problem of the economy today. Okay, so choose your course wisely, choose your universities wisely, so where you can learn everything with basic detailing. Okay, from A to Z, whatever you're trying to pursue. So it will be very helpful for you guys to achieve your dreams and do something good. Okay, so don't be a substandard engineer. So you have to realize the essence of engineering before you join, or else obviously you're going to stay jobless. Okay. Okay. So with all the efforts and everything, so you have come inside. Okay, you have come inside the department, maybe say CSE. Okay, so people out there. So first thing you should be thinking of is the most hyped buzzword. I mean, in the recent time is like machine learning, the artificial intelligence. Okay, but as you can see, I have this very small meme for you to say what is artificial intelligence. Okay, so it has all evolved from the statistics, guys. Whatever you are studying in your higher secondary, the linear algebra, the matrix, the statistics, everything. So the statistics is nothing but getting insights about the data. Okay, so in between, as you know, the statistics was there and somebody framed it and named it machine learning, but there were no much interest towards it. But somebody said it was he was smart enough to name it an artificial intelligence, then people followed. Okay, so now I just want to have a small interaction session with you guys. You can either drop me in the chat box the answer. So what is your idea about machine learning? So what are the basic things? What does machine learning basically do? Okay, what does machine learning basically do? I need you guys to respond on this. At least put something on the chat box, or try to, you can unmute yourself and communicate to me. So it will be fine for me to continue with the session. So since I am not getting, it's one-sided for past 20 minutes, so I would like to get some interaction from you guys. So anybody knows what is machine learning? Okay, what is machine learning? So, or data scientist. So any ideas for you guys? So some people might have ideas to pursue the computer science and engineering with artificial intelligence and ML. So anyone has any idea about it? Just you can respond it in the chat box too, guys. Okay. Machine learning is an application of artificial intelligence Yeah, good. So it's a subset of artificial intelligence. To say the machine learning is, and the artificial intelligence is an overall idea. Okay, the artificial intelligence is an overall idea, but the machine learning is subset of the artificial intelligence where your specific function is being learned. Okay, and I'm expecting some more answers from you. You may not answer it like technically, but what is machine learning and where it is used? So any real-time applications you can try to say, or you can generalize what machine learning does in a single line. Okay, cool. No. It's not related to electrical and electronics engineering. It is related to everything. Okay, the machine learning is related to numbers basically. So the data which is around the world. Okay. So any other answers? I'm trying to get some more interesting answers. So what does machine learning do? The artificial intelligence. What is its basic purpose? So you'll be shocked. Maybe when you hear it, you'll be shocked. So it is very simple. What the machine learning does. Okay. Learning about computer algorithms. No. It focuses on development of computer programming. Yes, the computer science actually is for that can access data. Okay. It helps in building systems like Python is also a language which we build online management systems. Yeah. For everything it is used. Yeah, but the main purpose of artificial intelligence is like is which drives the development of high performance learning culture. Oh my God. Okay. Yes. Kritik Kumar, very good. So, okay, a round of applause for Kritik Kumar. So he has almost given the answer, a generalized answer. Okay, so the machine learning is used to automate process, guys. Okay, so Kritik Kumar is absolutely right. About it. So you people also know about it. Whatever you people said is also closely related, but it's like some shallow answers. But this is the main thing I wanted to know from you guys. Okay, to automate process. This is what the machine learning and the artificial intelligence is looking into, guys. So whatever the work you do, okay, is being done by a machine, will be done by a machine. Okay, so and for that the machine to learn, I will mathematically make the machine to know the things. Okay, so which is simple. A machine learning system, an intelligence system, you say an artificial intelligence system, mimics the process of a human being. Okay, so something like it has a brain. The machine learning is a machine which has a brain, guys. So to simply put it, this is what it's called. Okay, so you want to automate the process, which is happening all over. Okay, so it can be anything. Okay, it can be anything. Like you can monitor the forest fires, wildlife. You can monitor everything you want to do without even someone looking into it, a human being looking into it. The system can automatically monitor with the help of a drone. Okay, and monitoring with the help of a drone is not actually machine learning. It's actually electronics. You can just monitor it with the help of somebody sitting in this side of the. Yes, hello. Okay, so can watch, but you are automating that. The drones will automatically capture the video and it will know the patterns, what is actually happening. If there is a wildfire happening, nobody has to watch, guys. Okay, so yes, correct. I appreciate Kritik Kumar for his enthusiastic answer. To automate every process, machine learning is being used, guys. Okay, so yes, we will get into it. Now we will be maybe a bit more interested on knowing what is just there to added some value added services with respect to machine learning and the data science. Okay, so there is a basic thing, guys. So there are software engineers, there are machine learning engineers. After completing your CSE, you can be a software engineer or a machine learning engineer. Because as our HODs are said, there was only one position in the beginning, just like a programmer or something. But now things are evolving with respect to the computer science department, since there are too much of technological innovations with respect to it. So you have the GPUs, the graphical processing units, where you think it is only for gaming, but to run the machine learning models, these graphical processing units are much of an use. Okay, to perform, I mean, like to do mathematical modeling, to make your neural networks run, to make the machine learning algorithms, the deep learning algorithms to run, your GPUs are very much important. Okay, it consumes a lot of time to run a model. So this is the basic difference between a software engineer and a machine learning engineer. The software engineer primarily focus on programming, only writing the code. Okay, where the core focus of a data scientist or an ML engineer is to experiment with the big data. You get the data because the world is full of data, guys. You know, and the world is full of data. The world has social media platforms. You have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have other blogging sites. So everything is data. You have a lot of video, audio, and other text things which is just shed over the internet. Okay, so in order to get some meaningful insights over this data and make something useful to the people, use machine learning to so make some meaningful applications with the help of the data which is present all over the world in the internet, whatever you call the Facebook, everything. Okay, so this data is manipulated to do some good. Okay, you can also do very much bad things with respect to it, but to do some good to the mankind, so you are going to be a machine learning engineer. Okay, so the job of a data scientist is more analytical. These analytical experts use a combination of mathematical, statistical, analytical skills and ML tools to gather the process and analyze massive data sets to gain insights. Okay, the data sets are nothing but the real world data. Using that only you can build a machine learning model. So I will show you an overall thing of what a machine learning engineer does, what machine learning is actually in the upcoming slides. Okay, so the machine learning engineer combines the laws and rules of the data science world with that of programming to help organization reap the full benefits of AI and ML. Okay, yeah, the machine learning engineer focus on designing self-running software for predictive model automation. Okay, so this is what you should be keeping in mind. Okay, the machine learning engineer focuses on designing a self-running software. It's not being operated by anybody, so you should be keeping this on mind. A machine learning engineer focuses on designing self-running software for predictive model automation. So using a machine learning model, say you can just predict weather of tomorrow's weather you can predict. So your phone has it. Okay, your smartphone has it. So your smartphone can predict tomorrow what would be the weather. It might be rainy or it might be sunny or whatever. Okay, so this is all happening because of the data we provide and the data which is around the world. Using these data, which is called as a data set, the great companies like Amazon, Google, Flipkart, or whatever it is, they are using this data, okay, to automate the process, right? To automate the process, as Kritik said, to automate the process, they use all the data all over the world, okay, all over the world, to do something meaningful with it. Okay, so who can learn AI apart from the CSE background people? Okay, so AI is common for all, guys. So even mechanical engineers can learn, electrical engineers, biotechnology undergrads. So someone who is having a very much interested over the virology, so virus studies, you can use AI to mutate virus and simulate. You can simulate the virus using the artificial intelligence software. Okay, and whoever who needs their data to be analyzed and to be processed and the process to be automated. So it can be whatever. It's not that the ML is only restricted. The machine learning or artificial intelligence is only restricted to the CSE. Okay, so to the CSE background, it is for everybody who wants to automate their process. Okay, it is very important. Who want to render some software into their application, it is must for every engineer to have an interaction with the machine learning engineer to make their product as an automated product in real time. Okay, so this is why I have kept this slide. So who else can learn AI apart from the CSE background? Whoever in any department, it may be in mechanical department, you know, the automated, I mean the autonomous driving vehicles, I mean the Tesla vehicles and the Google vehicles, everything, it's all mechanical, and somehow it also able to incorporate the machine learning and artificial intelligence technology into it. Okay, so this is the core use of AI and ML all over the world, guys. So whatever an engineer you may be, it's better to have a simple idea over the machine learning problems, right? Okay, so requirement, what are the philosophical requirements? So I will just move it very fast. Maybe we will have an alumni interaction after this, and we'll be also looking into the a simple hands-on session how ML works. Okay, so what are the requirements of the world? As I said, you should know your world, you should know the demand of the world, what is happening around, get to know the problems around the world, and know the salary. Last but not the least, you should know the salary. Okay, so I will also show you with respect to salary, what is it going, okay? And requirements of an AML engineer. You should also know this. What are the basic requirements of an AML engineer? Mathematics, 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 mathematics. I have mentioned it 4 times because mathematics is very important for you to have. You should have a problem solving capability, okay, to pursue engineering, right? So mathematics is very important, and logical thinking. So try to solve questions related to JEE or GATE, okay? And real-time problem solving, which is going to make you a hero, okay? And constant effort and practice. Even though if you have interest, the effort and practice is very much important, okay? So then coming to the programming skills, yeah, last but not the least, the programming is very much important with respect to machine learning or whatever, because you will be having an idea in your mind to pursue, but how you will do it? You can do it only with your programming skills. So this will be falling under the CSE category. Yeah, obviously machine learning also includes too much of programming to research what you try to execute, what you try to pursue, what you're trying to build. You should know the programming to make it work. So programming is very important. So if you're trying to join CSEs today, so please start practicing programming today. Please enjoy programming. Okay, please enjoy programming. Don't take it as a burden. Okay, if you're trying to join CSE, you should not think programming or mathematics as a burden. You should be enjoying it. Okay, that is what the main part, main takeaway from this particular slide. Okay, so coming to salary of a machine learning engineer, as you can see, according to the 2009 Indeed report, the best jobs in US and India, machine learning engineer takes the crown position in the list with an average salary of $146,085. Okay, why? Because this is more interesting. It is a whooping increase of about 344% since 2015. So you know how much of data the world is using. All the TikTok videos and the Facebook videos, all the things which is lying around, which is actually a lot of data. So the work of a machine learning engineer or data scientist has increased from 2015, and the salary has obviously has also increased to 344%. So it's a very big salary, guys. So something you are going to do to the world, to the mankind, which is going to give you some amount of motivation through the salary. That's a good thing. The machine learning engineer actually earns a lot, okay, than a regular average engineer. So as you can see, the best of 2019 jobs, you can see the machine learning engineer comes first, guys. So as you can see, 344% of whooping growth in the salary, okay, since 2015. Okay, so then comes the full stack developer, a CSE student who can code. Okay, but machine learning engineer is somewhat different. You should be knowing the world. You should be know to solve real life problems. So that's what will make you a machine learning engineer, and also the programming skills. Okay, so you have other list of salary to be look forward. Okay, so whatever things you want to do, the next things after the machine learning engineer, but the machine learning engineer comes with an highest salary. So I think you are getting it from this. Okay, so cons of being an ML engineer. What are the cons? What are the disadvantages of being an ML engineer? Okay, it is not a daily work where you go and come home. Okay, it's not something like a regular government job where you can go, come home, nothing like that here. Okay, you should be productive all the time. You should be proactive, and you should be a progressive person. You should show some progress every day. You should be ready to learn. You should be ready to learn every day. You should be ready to learn the new technologies, because with respect to computer science, the updations are too much. The updations are very large with respect to the computer science. Every day the programming get updated, a new programming language comes, and as of now Python is standing first. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 years it might not stand, so there might be another set of programming languages. Okay, so you should be ready to update yourself. Okay, then regular updations on recent trends. So what is happening around the world? So that is what I was saying all the time. And mathematics again, if you want to do something more innovatively with respect to an algorithm, then you should be focusing on the mathematics again. So whoever loves mathematics, okay, so they have an they should have a great interest to pursue computer science. Okay, because most of the mathematicians are only in the past became computer science engineers. Okay, someone like Charles Babbage or whatever. So they are all mathematics experts, but it drove them to become a computer science engineer. So that is what is very much important. Okay, so roles of an AI and ML undergraduate. What are the roles? So we'll just see with it. So learn to understand and visualize your ideas, and speak with subject matter experts. Ask for meaningful doubts for the research with to a resource person. Okay, and research the topic you work on. Okay, write a lot of blogs. I mean, we first read the blogs, what is happening with respect to machine learning and artificial intelligence, and later on you should be able to write blogs. That is what will make you reinforce the ideas, reinforce the algorithms. If you're trying to learn as an undergrad student, this is your basic responsibility. You should be reading all the blogs and you should be able to write blogs in the near future. Okay, and have high level of understanding over the algorithms that you will be knowing when you're trying to study your engineering part. Okay, and take up internships, and you should publish research articles. Okay, take up innovative projects in your time on the campus. When you're in the campus, try to take some innovative projects. Go ask some staffs, go ask your lecturers, give me some project, come on, give me some project to work on. So cope up your mind like that when you're trying to join engineering. It's not like just studying for a semester. Okay, it's like you're doing, you should do something, you should develop your skills on the go in the 4 years, right? And publish research articles. Then take up competitions in Kaggle. Okay, there is a very big website. The Kaggle is a very big source for you to know things. Okay, you should go participate in the events. Even though the students from the rural sites, you should be interested in these things. You will get to know on the go. You will be having a very you might be very much interested in what is going on over the world with respect to machine learning. Okay, so take up competitions, improve your skills. Okay, this is the overview for machine learning. This is how you make an automation of a process, of a human process. Okay, so you will have a training set, the data which I'm speaking about all over the world. Okay, from that you will extract the features. Then using that, you will make a machine learning model to work from the past experience. That is, using the training data, what you will do is you will train a machine learning algorithm, and based on that machine learning algorithm, new test cases you can give. That is the real-time applications. I'll let you know. So you will build a model first of all. In the hands-on session, you will be having a bit more clear idea about it. Okay, so and use this machine learning algorithm to automate the process. So this is the basic thing. You get the data, you obtain the features from it, then you train a machine learning model using that, and using this machine learning model, you give a new data to see how the automation works. This is very simple. Okay. Okay, so while I'll get into the neural network when we are going to the hands-on session, so I'll give you a basic introduction about the neural networks with a small video, interactive video, so that you will know why the mathematics is very much important with respect to artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, even the matrices you studied in your higher studies. I mean, like the matrices, linear algebra, the integration. Okay, whatever you have studied is going to be used, guys. You don't want to think that these are just waste of time I have studied. No, nothing like that. Whatever you have studied, you should have studied better in your higher secondary. So that is what is going to help you. Okay, that mathematics is what going to help you with respect to an computer science engineer. Okay, so we'll see about. So okay, so I will complete you with I will just close the session with what are the applications. So with AI and ML. Okay, so the main core of the presentation is that. So from after this, we'll be having an alumni interactive session. So a guy working, okay, in a software industry. So he'll try to give you some insights on what is happening over there and how he has pursued his engineering. Okay, so applications of AI and ML algorithms, as you can see, from making daily activities simpler to saving the earth, whatever you can do with machine learning. Okay, so from making daily activities to simpler and to save the earth. Okay, AI is way more, artificial intelligence is way more fascinating when you are really into it, guys. Okay, so yeah, so usually they say the computers are going to conquer the world. You are using too much of technology, so it is going to be a very big massacre or chaos. It's going to be the computers are going to rule us, something like we have seen movies like Mr. Robot, like iRobot and other things. But what computers can actually do is the algorithms has not reached so much of potential, guys. Okay, so as you can see, it is a voice assistant. If you just ask for Siri to call me a cab, the Siri says, okay, hi cab. It just means it is not trying to call a cab, so it is just confused. Instead of calling a cab, it is just calling you a cab. The person you are asking to call a cab, it's calling you a cab. Okay, so it's funny. So this is the only extent the machine learning has reached as of now. So there are too many loopholes which has to be addressed by too much of researchers, which is going to come. So this is a perfect time for you to join us in CSE or an AI or ML engineer. Okay, then coming to so most of us might think even this robot cannot tick a box. I'm not a robot box. Okay. So this is what the machine learning can do. And there is another more interesting thing. So somebody is saying, so this is a very simple meme. Okay. AI is going to take over the world and kill us. Somebody is saying, but meanwhile, AI, what it's doing? It's just a lookalike person like an Obama. Is just showing him as an Obama. So this is what is AI has achieved so far. Okay, so AI is not going to take over the world and kill us. It's not even correct in identifying a person's name. So that is too much far, guys. You should make the system more reliable and efficient in the upcoming days only. So it is very much too far. You cannot say that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to take you over and kill us. Okay. Then yes, then till which end your education has can help. So till which end your education can help. So you can solve real life problems, and you can also solve social problems, social justice. You can get social justice with your education. So there is a girl in some country, so she has tried to shape up her own education, country's education system with machine learning algorithms. So she has actually try to solve the discrimination in the educational system using the algorithm. See how effective a machine learning engineer can be. Okay, so a bad fly view. What are basic machine learning engineer? What does basically in machine learning it comes? Okay, when it comes to machine learning, image recognition, okay, and speech recognition, then image recognition, speech recognition, then learning associations. In Flipkart, you can see there are suggestions when you try to buy. Okay, so there are a few suggestions when you are trying to buy. This is because of the machine learning things which is going on. And speech recognition, your Google phones, I mean your voice search and everything. Okay, it all comes under the speech recognition process. And image recognition, your Google Lens, whatever you try to capture in Google Lens, and it will show you the information what is being inside the image. It is all because of machine learning, guys. It is all because of the data. So whatever thing, the Amazon, the Google, everything is trying to automate the process with help of the data you provide and the data which is present around the world. Okay, so these are some day-to-day applications of machine learning, which comes here as email spam filtering. It can do a very basic thing as email spam filtering, and autocomplete, auto corrections, smart face lock in your smartphones, speech assistants, and chatbots. I mean, like when you go to a college admission site, or when you go to a medical expertise site, then you will be getting a chat suddenly. So nobody is chatting with you. Okay, these are chatbots which are created using the artificial intelligence models or the machine learning models. Okay, so till this the application extends, as you can see. And optical character recognition, you'll be seeing an example with respect to the optical character recognition in the hands-on session. Okay, then finance, medical, and robotics, whatever. Okay, these are some basic real life things you can pursue with the machine learning models. Okay, so what is the weather? When I try to type WEA, the other thing comes out. This is all because of the algorithms which is working background. And you can see the audio systems like Alexa or whatever, it's also based on the machine learning. And when you go for a site, the chatbots which come, which are also being created by the machine learning models. And with respect to medical technology and finance, everything is actually identifying fraudulent transactions and etc. And these are the things, are the basic real life examples of machine learning. Okay, now we will get to something more interesting: how to manipulate AI to solve literally the real world problems. Okay, AI makes, artificial intelligence makes you involve and know interesting facts about the world. Okay, even now, after trying to know what are the applications only, I actually try to know more about the world. Okay, so how to manipulate AI to solve literally the real world problems, right? So we will see a few examples. Okay, so in the future we may be dependent on AI to monitor the CO2 levels. We are polluting the environment actually. So in the future we might create a dashboard, okay, to monitor the CO2 levels and calculate the carbon footprints in real time for determining natural disasters. Okay, for predicting natural disasters, you can use the machine learning models. Okay, and currently they are using drones and the artificial intelligence model applied to it. They are using it to prevent forest fires before it has happened. So the drones will be going on all over the forest or whatever the zone you provide. And even though if somebody is not watching, if some fire is happening, the Google has did it, the Google TensorFlow has did it. Okay, if a fire is happening, suddenly an alert will be sent to the respective forest department offices. Okay, so this is some real life examples where it is very much useful. Okay, and you can monitor the wildlife experience. In the beginning, you will be going on, some people will be going in the forest and taking the count of wild animals. It might be sometimes dangerous, but now with the help of drones and other counting systems, with drones you can just see, but with help of a model embedded inside a drone, with the help of an artificial intelligence model or a machine learning model embedded inside a drone, you can actually make the drone a person. Okay, it will automatically detect the counts. Okay, and AI, the good side, we are coming to the good side of the AI. They say the AI is bad, but till what extent the AI can actually be good. Okay, so the Microsoft AI for Earth is awarding grant helps to tackle environmental problems as a brief. Okay, so to monitor the snow leopards. Okay, the wildlife preservation is done using the machine learning models. Okay, and in AI it can be in future can be applied to thousands of issues affecting the environment. Okay, and the climate change can be addressed with help of an artificial intelligence system. So when you have some time, you can watch Our Planet documentary in the Netflix. Okay, so that you can know what are all the things, bad things happening around, the mishaps happening around in the world, and in what way you can help. You can think of it when you see. Okay, and something very serious like coral bleaching, ocean mining, and water pollution, to keep oceans clean, you can use the machine learning system effectively. Okay, and flood planning, to in order to avoid floods, you can use the machine learning models. And AI is improving agriculture by collecting data and images alongside. So to so for agriculture, so விவசாயம் பார்க்கறவங்களுக்கு எப்படி, so the களை எடுக்கிறதுக்கு, to monitor the weed, to monitor the pesticide content in the agricultural field. So AI has, so this is separately called as precision farming, where artificial intelligence and machine learning is used to do agriculture, so which is a very great thing. Okay, so it is helping from the creamy layer person to someone who is really getting in a very hard life, leading a very hard life. So it is of use to everybody, guys. Okay, then yeah, it can be used to protect the oceans from illegal overfishing using the satellite data, the satellite images. A machine learning model is built to see whether there is overfishing happening in particular region, so which is a very interesting application. Okay, yeah, algorithm to solve social justice. As I said, one girl has stepped up to change her whole education system happening in the country with the help of machine learning and artificial intelligence. Okay, so in the future, what you can create in the future, AI methods may create a digital dashboard for the planet. You can have a whole dashboard for the planet, as you can see in Marvel and DC movies. Okay, you can have a whole dashboard of the planet. You can see what is happening around the world, where they are exploiting the resources, where everything is good and well and good. Okay, so you can use it to reduce the pollution. So this is what you are capable of. So I am just giving you this applications to be interesting applications, because you should know what things you are capable of as an engineer, as a computer science engineer, as an artificial intelligence engineer, or a machine learning engineer. Okay, so you can help global warming. So this is your maximum potential, what you can do to a mankind as an CSE student. Okay, to save our planet. Okay, so you can have interaction with robots, with which is not to destroy the planet, but in order to save our planet. Okay, so we'll be having an answer later. So I think we have completed the session now, so we'll have a small 5 minutes break, and we'll have an alumni interaction session following this. Thank you so much, guys. So if you want to make an interaction, or if you have any doubts, you can ask me straight away. I can answer you in this 5 minutes. Thank you so much. I will be also handling you an hands-on session on how optical character recognition works, and I will tell you the real-time applications of it after the session is over. Okay, so you can ask me any doubts if you have. Guys, please wait for a few minutes. You can have a break for 5 minutes. So after that, we'll continue with an interesting session of an alumni interaction. So you guys will have a real exposure of what is happening out there in the industry. Okay. So yeah, so Kritik has asked now. One second, Kritik, I'll answer you. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. So as Kritik asked, is there any cons with respect to machine learning, sir? Yes. I mean, like, it's all subjective, Kritik. Okay. If you are having some good intention to do a good thing around the world, machine learning is always helpful for you. Okay. If you want, think of some bad things, so it is all on the basic idea of who you are. Okay. So it is all on the basic idea of who you are. So machine learning is, there is no very much big cons with respect to machine learning, but what machine learning is doing is actually it's getting the jobs of some people. I mean, like, we are automating the process, but it's all good. It's all good. Somehow it is going to help. If the machine learning is going in the right way in the future, in the forecasting years, then definitely machine learning is going to help the mankind. There is no doubt. And I think as of now, there are one or two few cons with respect to machine learning, but it's going to be good years ahead. Okay. Naga, are you there in the meeting? Okay, okay. Can you speak, Naga, or are you muted? Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, given the access.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great, man. Yeah, we have some more doubts. We will look into it later. Okay, guys, I introduce you to Nagarjun. Can you give a bit of an introduction about yourself, and can you take over the session, Naga?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is safe. And yeah, this is Nagarjun. You can call me Arjun. I was SRM Ramapuram 2020 pass out. So last year I passed out, and currently I'm working as Chief Technical Officer in Fresh Digital. It's a startup in Chennai. And I thought of talking to you about how my college life was, how my engineering was, and what kind of work that I do. So I'll start with my the work that I do. Okay, so I was just listening to your session, like last 15-20 minutes. So whatever that was told in a session, starting from chatbots to artificial intelligence dashboards, where you can manage what is happening exactly right out there live. Okay, and all this stuff. So I'm basically working in that field only. So I'm a full stack developer actually, and my company works to give out products which are based on artificial intelligence solutions. So we have something like as you said, face recognition based attendance. We have the voice cloning projects to automate your voice. It's basically for financial companies, like where they have to talk to their, like you all receive your customer calls, right? So we try to basically make those customer calls automated. We have our own chatbots. They perform on par with humans, and we have all, as he said, like humans and artificial intelligence work together. So that is basically industry 5.0. So that is what we are dealing currently. So we have so you can always check into our website. It's freshdigital.io. So I worked as a full stack developer. I mean, I'm still working as a full stack developer, and the position that I'm holding right now is CTO of the company. So yeah, so that is about my experience in the past 1 year. And coming to my college life, yes, I got this job actually through a hackathon that was connected in SRM. Yeah, so we usually have yearly fests. Okay, we have lots of functions, stuffs going on, and one of the such function is called Texas. So through Texas, a hackathon was organized, and my team was runner up in the hackathon, and we got opportunity from like 5 to 6 companies to work as interns. So we joined there. So I continued with my internship, and once my internship offer was over, they offered me a job, and the payment was good, so I joined. I also received my offer letters in campus placement also, because campus placements again is very good in SRM. So my engineering life is basically we get a lot of exposure to the outside world. So that's what basically helped me in the market, because see, what you study theoretically can form your base. That's all. So once you come into the market, it's totally different out there. Okay, so you have to adapt yourself. So that way, whatever the this thing, hackathons and all those meetings that we used to have, club meetings and club video sessions where people came from outside and gave us good talk, the contact that we had with others, and such sessions that you're having right now, right? These are all valuable sessions. We get a lot of such sessions during our college time. So that helped me a lot, because that made me very curious of what is happening around and what exactly that I need to do to adapt myself. So that's what helped me, because I once as a graduate, after completing my course, whatever is being taught in the curriculum, that was very strong with me. But that wasn't the only thing that was required. There was a lot more. Okay, when you get into a job, especially like a full stack developer, because you don't know which language you're working on. Some language might drop in suddenly, and the customers will ask you to do the work in that particular language. So you have to adapt, and that is something that I got from college. And also a few things that he said, like publishing papers or going to a stars and asking for projects. You have lots of opportunities here, and you get what you just need to do is go and ask them. Okay, whatever competition is happening, you win or lose, that doesn't matter, but just go and participate. You will have lots of opportunities here. So I guess that's what helped me. And campus placements too helped me. Like I got offers, that's it also, but I prefer this job over the thing, because I thought this is a startup and you can get a chance to learn about cutting edge technology. So that's why I chose this site. And so that's all about the opportunities that you have here, and how my engineering life has been. So job life has been, as everyone knows, it has been work from home only for the past 1 year. So as I already said, I work on artificial intelligence solutions, starting from chatbots to voice recognition, video recognition, image recognition, and stuffs. So you can check that anytime in our website. So yeah, that is basically about me. Without disturbing the session, what we can do is I'll answer a few questions if you have anything regarding your engineering and how it will be, and what you need to do with to adapt to the current market out there, or what tips you need, or how college life will be in SRM Ramapuram. You can go ahead and shoot your questions. With the questions, after the questions, we'll stop this and you can continue with your machine learning session. That sounds good, right? So come on, shoot.
Yes, Nagarjuna. Yeah, great. Thank you for giving your showering your thoughts on how the machine learning industry is and what you're working. You're a CTO. That's great to hear. Yeah, guys. So he is your pioneer, guys. So whoever in the call. So if you have any doubt on preparing to engineering, regarding preparing to the engineering and getting a job like this, etc., you can ask Nagarjun those questions. So in the next 5 minutes will be given for you to ask your questions. If it's there, Nagarjun will interact with you. So he will let you know. He will clear your doubts. Okay, he will clear your doubts. Thank you, Nagarjun, for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah. Thank you, Deepak. So you can go ahead if you have any doubts.
You can just post it in the chat box also, guys. So he will be looking it for you. I mean, looking at questions for you, so he can respond. So regarding Nagarjun, so in which technology you are working as of now? So just my own to get own insights on you.
Yeah, I am currently working on a chatbot. Okay, it's something
Okay,
called as
okay.
a knowledge-based
Natural
chatbot.
language, natural language processing you are working on. So
Yeah,
NLP.
yeah. Move beyond that. It's
Okay.
basically about the framework. We have our own NLP.
Okay.
So we are
Okay.
moving ahead with the different types.
So you are working for different clients, right? So with respect to the chat box.
Yeah, exactly. Different products. You can call them products instead of clients. So we make the products and then go ahead with the clients.
Okay. I think Nagarjun, they have a question for you.
Okay, yeah. Can you tell me something about Alexa and why it is a huge success? Okay, so yeah, great. This is about Alexa and the voice assistants. Okay, I'll tell you my own experience. We developed a chatbot, like that was my first ever chatbot, and I got a chance to develop it in Flutter. Okay, it's a very new language. I mean, it has been there for Android and iOS. For web, it was very new when I started. Okay, like past, it was in beta only. So when I started, so I made a chatbot. The chatbot did all the work. It had different options to connect with the different NLPs, like Deepak was talking. Like we have different set of NLPs out there. So we can connect it with everything, and it was like perfect, top notch. But still, we had one more suggestion from the customer at the end of the project, saying like, can we have this with respect to voice? So that is the importance, right? Instead of reading something, instead of reading your answers, if you have everything in voice, just give a command like, please tell me what this is, please tell me what this product is. If you ask it and the bot responds with a voice, I mean, humanly voice, then just imagine, look like more like a human conversation, right? Instead of you typing something and it giving you answers. So that's where Alexa and all your virtual assistants like Google Home and all, even Siri and all, they play a very very big role, just because they can give you that human presence, right? You talk something, you don't need to type anything, just give voice commands and it can give it back to you. So that is where they are like very important. And yeah, virtual assistants, if you wish to pursue it, yes, very good. It's a great thing. For Alexa, I guess you have lots of documentations out there. Okay, and you first need to learn about NLPs. Okay, learn about NLPs. There's something called as Dialogflow, which is the best way to start with NLPs. Okay, so go ahead, look at the documentation, create your own chatbot first, which is purely text, and then you can connect it with your Alexa account using AWS step functions. Okay, it's something called as AWS step functions and AWS Lambda. These are technical terms. I mean, not exactly terms. Those are processes, tasks. If you know all this, then creating a bot or a complete process using Alexa is very very simple. No need of there's no much code there. Okay, that also I'm telling you in front itself. There is no need of high level coding knowledge for this. It's very easy. Just you need to understand how it works and how it functions. That's all. Hope I answered your question. Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else has a doubt?
Great, Nagarjun. Thank you. So if somebody has some more questions, you can ask. So you can ask him. So yeah, guys. So he's a machine learning engineer here for you to answer your queries about the engineering or with respect to machine learning,
Okay.
the technologies. You can ask any technological doubts or whatever.
Yeah, okay. That was an expected question about professors. I'm telling you something like, professors are very good. Okay. All you just need to do is find your mentors. See, mentor is someone who can, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Professors are very important. Okay. Find your perfect mentor, someone whose vibes match with you. Okay. Someone who is into the field that you are interested in. Okay. I was very lucky that I got, one of my favorite professors here, Arun Kumar sir, and his vibe and my vibes matched. Okay, so we were into developing something new. So we had like lots of projects. So what he will do is, if he gets a chance, if he sees something regarding a project, he'll call me. He'll just text me that there's a project. This, can we apply for it? So this is how we had been. Like my final year project was also under him. So we did a lot of actual research. So mentors are very, very important. Professors are very good. What you just need to do is find the right person, find the right mentor, and just go join them and start working on stuffs, new things. They'll help you with all the basics. Then you can go ahead and start working on what you are trying to do. So yeah, they helped me a lot. Thank you.
Okay, that was a very good question. So how teachers help, mentor you the way. Okay, so you have to find your soul professors, as they said, as he said, so that they will give you insights and shower you knowledge on how things are happening around, and it might be of a great help for you. So guys, you have any more questions, you can ask. Okay, so I'll give you another 2 minutes. If you have any question, you cannot, you don't have to hesitate. You can just ask them. And after that, we'll be continuing with the session.
Okay. Yeah, I had this doubt. I was basically into machine learning only when I started. So my project was based on machine learning, and when I started, I was like, I wanted to know languages. I didn't know I was going to become a full stack developer, but I just knew I was ready to adapt. So I started with machine learning. Okay. So I got my internship. So once I went in there, like I got a good mentor on the professional side also. So he told me like, you are very good in your machine learning, so why don't try out something else also. So once I started with the other stuff, okay, the whole front end, back end, and cloud stuff, it also like was like, yeah, very good. So that is what startups do basically. You get a chance to work on everything that you lay hands on. So that was good. So I had this doubts a lot of time. Okay, it doesn't matter when, like, if you have doubts, that means you are on the right path. Okay, just for the college time, just choose a domain and make sure you're strong in that domain. So that way, for me it was machine learning. So once I was good in that and I got into a job, then I had to adapt to the environment that was. Still I work on certain machine learning projects or AI based projects, but it's not the only core that I have. So start with a domain. Choose any good domain or whatever you like, whatever is in trend. Okay, and if you have passion in it, just work on it. Work on your projects and papers, and then once your college is done and you get into a job, then you can, either continue with the same domain, or else, you can adapt to whichever you like, or try everything out like me. That is also an option that you have. That's fun, actually. Trying out everything out there is actually a lot of fun, but it needs some work too. Yeah, I did face challenges. See, the only thing, like how to face challenges, the only thing that you need to do is uh, not move away from it. Okay, go into it. Like, say, when I started initially, I didn't know much of machine learning. Okay, so I had to go down, download some courses. Okay, and then I took some books. Then I got my basics from my professors, and once I got the basics, then I started, like, it needed Python or R initially. Okay, I don't know, like, that time I was again confused which one to choose. Then I took my Python classes. I learned Python. See, all this is not like classes. I don't mean I took some courses. I just took some books, saw a few videos, saw a few crash courses that are available in YouTube for free. So once I got the understanding of how it does, I myself took up a challenge, and, a kind of question that I gave to myself, found out the data sets and started working. See, if you have a issue, right? Still now, if I don't know a language and someone gives me a product that I had to work in that particular language, I'll start with the project. I learn on one side and I'll do on the other side. So it's like, it's not like first learn everything and then go into that. It will never, see, there's a lot to learn, so you can't complete everything and then start working. You have to work on one side and keep learning on the other side. So that is how the challenges were. So I'm talking about the challenges that I faced in the professional field. So this is how it was.
Yes, that's very great actually. Yeah, you have to simultaneously learn and work, guys. So that is what your situation as an ML engineer. So you should be upgrading yourself on every aspect. So maybe your team leader asks you to work on a different project which involves a different programming language, but it should not stop you. The idea should only will motivate you. So based on that, whatever you are going to pursue, you should learn, obviously. So you should be updating yourself. That is a very good point given by Nagarjun. Thanks for that, Nagarjun. Okay, yeah, guys, if you have any other doubts, please ask. So it has been a very good interactive session so far. So if you have any more doubts, you can ask so that Nagarjuna can shower you some suggestions.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, fine. I guess that's it. You don't have any more questions to ask, so we'll wind it up here itself.
Yeah. Great, Nagarjuna. Great to have you with us. Thank you for your suggestions and all your valuable insights about what is happening around there in the ML world. Okay, so I feel very grateful to have you here. Thank you for making it a good interactive session. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
All the best for your future endeavors, guys.
Yeah, thank you, and all the best to everyone out there. Stay safe and keep learning. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
Deepak sir?
Yes, sir.
Session இருக்குங்களா சார்?
செஷன் இருக்கு சார். யா, ஒரு
session இருக்க முடியுதா சார்?
இல்ல ஒரு சின்ன hands on session இருக்கு சார். Personal Python introduction.
Okay.
So we'll be seeing that. Maybe in another 20 or 25 minutes we'll be closing it, sir. Okay, guys. So I think I think you might have got an idea of what is actually happening around in the ML industries, how the guys are pursuing. So he's your pioneer. Yeah, and he has also given you guys his number, so you can please reach out to him in case if you have any doubts, okay, regarding the session and the other things. Yeah, great. It was great to have you, Nagar. Thank you. All the best, man. Okay, so guys, so as I have assured you, so we will be having a small introduction to the machine learning model. So not getting into a lot of ML jargons and other buzzwords of, around. So we'll be having a very basic introduction of what basically an ML engineer does. Okay, what basically on the basic part. So it is actually somewhat different by building a product, but we don't have much time to see all those things. But I will show you how the mathematical modeling, the mathematics helps in modeling the algorithms to make an application, make a product related to ML, how to automate a process. Okay, so we will just have an introduction over there, and we will directly go on to the coding part and see how it actually works, how machine learning works. So this will be maybe what I'm trying to show you will be your first lab exercise when you're getting into the computer science stream and trying to work on the machine learning subject, and maybe this will be your first project for you to develop a very simple project. Okay, so we will see what is the application later, but before that, since we are using the neural networks, okay, the neural networks are the basic component of a machine learning. Okay, as someone said before, the purpose of machine learning is to automate the process. Okay, so yeah, okay. So the purpose of machine learning is to automate the process. So therefore, how this process automation happens on a basic level. On a basic level, we will see how this particular automation is going to happen. And before that, we will get into few points regarding how this particular neural network, which is the model, the algorithm which we are going to use, is going to work. So the main theme of this particular okay. The main theme of this particular workshop or the summer camp is the design thinking, how you guys think, okay, to development project. So what are the things involved in it? Okay, so I will start with it. So now think that you are going to develop a product in real time. You are going to develop a product in real time using a machine learning model. Okay, so then how it is going to work? Okay, so design thinking, this is how we build the product. You first empathize, you first look into the need. Okay, now I am going to show you an application of how to find the handwritten digits. Okay, handwritten digits in the sense, its direct application is that in traffic, if somebody, the system, I mean the police department, is trying to identify the vehicle numbers which are violating the rules in the roads. Okay, so in that place, this particular application can be used. You can directly, using a surveillance camera, you can capture the number plates of the, I think most of you might have known this, but I will show you how it is actually done on a basic level. Okay, so how the number plates are captured, how the numbers in the plates are captured, and then using that numbers, then you will be filing a complaint or whatever you want to do with that particular numbers. Okay, so this is a very simple application. So thinking this in mind with respect to design thinking, how this will work. First of all, you should empathize yourself on the place of a customer. Okay, you think here the customer is the police department or the traffic police department. Okay, so you define the problem. So what you need to identify the numbers. If they are not single numbers, they are combined numbers. Okay, so based on the identified numbers, then you should be triggering a message or alert to the respective police department officer or the user who is holding the bike or car or van or whatever it is, whoever's the license plate has been captured. So the information has to be transferred over there. Okay, so you empathize the problem by yourself. You think of as a traffic constable or a traffic inspector in the first place. So what are the things you need? You think of it, then you define it. You write down it and see if everything works fine. Then you ideate it. Okay, then you ideate how this can be done, what kind of programming language or whatever what can be used. You should ideate the whole process, how it can. That is, for example, like, first of all, you should be building a model, a machine learning model, to get the real life data. Before that, you should be training the model with a lot of number plates, because by that way only the machine learns, by that way only the computer learns. This is called kind of a supervised learning methodology. Okay, supervised learning in the sense, you will give the model, you will give the neural network the input you need to train the model, so that the neural network will train on detecting the number plates. Okay, the neural network will be trained on detecting the number plates, and finally this model will be embedded in the video camera which is present at the signals. Okay, now what happens there? So when the real-time data goes into the model, before that you train the model using the existing data, using all the number plates in the world, or the TN number plates, that is a number plate, a specific state number plate. It will be as an input to the model, neural network model, and it will be made as a very small chip, and it will be placed inside a video camera. Okay, so after capturing the input data, okay, after capturing the input data, what happens? The input data is being given to the model, and the model identifies the numbers, and then it does the necessary action, message to the owner of the vehicle or the police department. Okay, then you prototype. First you ideate, so you fix this flow, you capture the plate number, then you send it to the respective officer or the respective owner. So this is the overall flow here, a simple flow. Then you prototype what is going to be happening, then finally you will be testing. Okay, and after testing there might be many issues with respect to it. Maybe the system might not understand one or a few fonts which is present in the number plate. So this is a real life problem. So this is how you will be debugging, you will be testing your products. Okay, so you think this, for this particular plate it's not working, so what do? You come again to the define stage. You are not going to empathize again, but you are going to define again. You are going to give new set of training data which is similar to the plates which cannot be captured by the model. So you give new data to the model, you train the model, then you build a prototype again, you test it again. So it is a cyclic process. It goes on until the product reaches the perfection. Since you are making a real-time project, so you must have at least a 98 or 99 point accuracy with respect to these traffic scenarios. When it is some life-saving scenarios, it should be 100%. Your model should work 100% perfectly, that it should give 100% accurate results. But with respect to the license plate numbers getting it, so it might be like some 99 or around 99 to 100% it should work. So until that point is reached, you will be iterating all over and all over again. Okay, so this is the basic way of design thinking. This is how we build a product. Now what is used to do this? Okay, a neural network is used to do this, guys. Okay, so we will have a very simple example of neural network. What is a neural network? It is a 5-minute video, so that because in the upcoming hands-on session I will be using a neural network model. Okay, I'll be using a neural network model to identify the handwritten digits, right? So that you should have a basic understanding of how neural networks work. So this 5 minutes video will give you a clear view why the mathematics is important, what is actually happening, where the mix comes. So this image will be taken as a 2D image. So it is a matrix actually by nature. So how the input goes, how the neural network responds. Okay, so we will see in this small video. It will be a very nice video for you, I hope. So just a 5-minute video. What is a neural network? Because I'm going to use it for the upcoming hands-on session.
Last summer, my family and I visited Russia. Even though none of us could read Russian, we did not have any trouble in figuring our way out. All thanks to Google's real-time translation of Russian boards into English. This is just one of the several applications of neural networks. Neural networks form the base of deep learning. A subfield of machine learning where the algorithms are inspired by the structure of the human brain. Neural networks take in data, train themselves to recognize the patterns in this data, and then predict the outputs for a new set of similar data. Let's understand how this is done.
So as you have seen, the neural networks train. So it is a brain-like structure. It fires neuron, guys. The neural networks fires the neurons. The neural networks was there previously on the 70s and the 80s, but they were not able to use by that time because they did not have enough computation. Now you have the graphical processing units. Okay, but now the GPUs you have, but by that time it's very tough to process much amount of data with the help of since the neural network models require a lot of data to process to perform a task. Okay, so it mimics the human brain. So the main purpose is to automate a process. So that is how, I mean, the thing which a human does is going to be done by an algorithm, okay, that is called as a neural network. It mimics the human brain so that it automates the process, okay. So that's what he's saying. It is modeled based on the training data, and in testing, what happens? New data is given to check the evaluation accuracy of the model.
Cells to recognize the patterns in this data and then predict the outputs for a new set of similar data. Let's understand how this is done. Let's construct a neural network that differentiates between a square, circle, and triangle. Neural networks are made up of layers of neurons. These neurons are the core processing units of the network. First, we have the input layer, which receives the input. The output layer predicts our final output. In between exist the hidden layers which perform most of the computations required by our network. Here's an image of a circle. This image is composed of 28 by 28 pixels, which make up for 784 pixels. Each pixel is fed as input to each neuron of the first layer. Neurons of one layer are connected to neurons of the next layer through channels. Each of these channels is assigned a numerical value known as weight. The inputs are multiplied to computations required by our network. Here's an image of a circle. This image is composed of 28 by 28 pixels, which make up for 784 pixels. Each pixel is fed as input to each neuron of the first layer. Neurons of one layer are connected to neurons of the next layer through channels. Each of these channels is assigned a numerical value known as weight. The inputs are multiplied to the corresponding weights, and their sum is sent as input to the neurons in the hidden layer. Each of these neurons is associated with a numerical value called the bias, which is then added to the input sum. This value is then passed through a threshold function called the activation function. The result of the activation function determines if the particular neuron will get activated or not. An activated neuron transmits data to the neurons of the next layer over the channels. In this manner, the data is propagated through the network. This is called forward propagation. In the output layer, the neuron with the highest value fires and determines the output. The values are basically a probability. For example, here, our neuron associated with square has the highest probability. Hence, that's the output predicted by the neural network. Of course, just by a look at it, we know our neural network has made a wrong prediction. But how does the network figure this out? Note that our network is yet to be trained. During this training process, along with the input, our network also has the output fed to it. The predicted output is compared against the actual output to realize the error in prediction. The magnitude of the error indicates how wrong we are, and the sign suggests if our predicted values are higher or lower than expected. The arrows here give an indication of the direction and magnitude of change to reduce the error. This information is then transferred backward through our network. This is known as backpropagation. Now, based on this information, the weights are adjusted. This cycle of forward propagation and backpropagation is iteratively performed with multiple inputs. This process continues until our weights are assigned such that the network can predict the shapes correctly in most of the cases. This brings our training process to an end.
Okay, guys. So I think this is all the math behind the neural networks. Okay, so we will just have a quick look into the neural network. Okay, the optical, the handwritten digit recognition problem. As soon as we can see that, then you'll be getting an idea. So this is how neural network works. This is why I was saying the math is very important. The activation function, it has to trigger whatever the dominant inputs present in the data. Okay, so these are all might be a bit gibberish to you, but this is what the basic thing. You are giving every input data as a matrix. So whatever you have studied in the higher studies only. Okay, but a bit more of an elaborated, detailed version of this. So don't worry about the neural networks. This is what just I've shown you to see what kind of mathematics involved. First, the linear algebra is involved. Then you do the activation function mathematics. You add the bias, multiply the bias. These are all very basic operations. By this way, the neural network optimizes itself. Okay, so for every iteration, so in the beginning the training will not be very effective, guys. It will show very wrong results, but on the go, while taking more number of time, you train the model with additional data, the neural network will perform better. So I'll show you a very simple example of how to do this. Okay. Now I have a very simple example.
What is engineering? Let's take a moment to think about your morning. The alarm on your phone goes off.
Okay, so yeah, guys, next 5 minutes we will be seeing a very small application of the neural networks. Then we will having a question answering session. Then we will wind up. Okay, so this is Google Collaboratory. Okay, this is Google Colab. This is a lab which is especially provided by Google. Okay, for you to run the GPU programs. Your normal workstation or PC will not have the graphics support. The GPU support it will not have. Okay, so it will have only CPU support. You can also run the models with the help of a CPU, the neural network models with the help of a CPU, but it is going to take a lot of time for you to train a model. Maybe the difference is that with the CPU, if you are trying to train a model in about 1 month, in GPU you can train it in 1 week. Okay, so this is a very big difference between a CPU processing and GPU processing. So with the GPUs, you can take much faster inputs, but you can process more data on the go. Okay, so this is a Python code of how optical character recognition, I mean a handwritten digit recognition by a model. Okay, so in the beginning, I'm just trying to import the required libraries. So this Google Colab, you can just type Google Colab, sign in, and you will get your own Python notebook. Okay, this works on Python actually. So you can modularize your code at each and every level. So I will tell you what are the main things present here. First, I import the required libraries. Okay, so see, it's running. So all these require GPU. The Google is providing you free GPU, but you cannot do much intense application with this, but you can actually play with it. You can actually experiment very few, I mean, a small coding for you to understand things better. Instead of buying a laptop with the GPU, which costs about 60 to 70,000 nowadays, you can just start it with the Google Collaboratory. You can just with Google Colab, you can know what are the basic. You can have many programs. You can just put it out and work it. So first, I'm making the data ready. As I train, I need training data to train a neural network. Okay, and why train is the labels present. Labels in the sense it is 1 or 2. So our purpose is to identify. So if this is a 5, the system should be able to identify that this is a 5. This is a part of image processing. I have did my PhD in video recognition. So I am just giving you this basic computer vision computer vision problem as an example. Okay, so I'm making the data ready. I'm preparing the training data and testing data from the MNIST data set. This is the object of MNIST data set, which is present in a repository, public repository. So I am not creating the data. I'm just retrieving the data from the MNIST repository, and using that, I am making a train and test label and a training file. Okay, and the testing data also I'm getting from the MNIST load data function. So the testing and training are well separated with respect to this MNIST data set, the numbers data set, the handwritten numbers data set. I create training to train the model, and I create a testing file to test the model. Okay, so this is how your output will be visual. So you just try to visualize a particular image in the data set. So this is a file. So this is what your system is going to identify. So this is a very complicated file. It's not like the usual files where it is digitally written in a WordPad or something else. Okay, so it is a very complicated file. It is a handwritten file. Your system should be able to handle this. Okay, so before sending whatever the data into the neural network, I think somebody should mute their mic. Okay, so before sending the data into the neural network, you should normalize the data. It is like pre-processing. So you will be having a lot of junk. You will be having unwanted things present in the data set. So in order to normalize that, you should scale down the data to the level. So this is the basic ML engineer would do. This is the first process, data cleaning. So this involves mathematics. Normalization is that the data might be in very big range, maybe some 100 to 200, 300 in numbers. Okay. Using normalization, what you do is you bring the data scale down to 0 to 1. Okay, so by that way your processing will be much faster. So that's why you perform this particular step. Okay, you normalize the training data, you normalize the test data using this normalize function, which is very much easy with respect to Python. Okay, so that's why I'm showing you a Python example with respect to the Google Colab. This everybody can try, even though if you don't have a GPU, you can do this. So I'm just trying to make this system work to identify the handwritten digits. Okay, so first you get the data. You split the data into training and testing. This is how basic machine learning would work. You extract the features after that. Before extracting the features, what do? You normalize this particular training and testing data. Then you build the model. So you have, so as I have shown you previously, okay, as I have shown you previously in the particular slide, okay. So like while giving the overall introduction. So here I am training the data. I extract the features, I train the data. And after that I test it. So same is happening. This is a convolution neural network. This is a type of neural network which you have seen in the before video. Okay, so I create layers and other things using this neural network. See, it's all the math behind. Okay, you are giving a matrix image as an input to the particular neural network. So I build the model. Okay, then I compare the model. What is the metrics I use? Okay, it is accuracy. So how far in 100 examples, in the 100 test examples, how much the model is able to actually find. Okay, so this is what is called as an accuracy. So I am declaring the accuracy as my validation metric. Here I compile the model. Okay, now the compilation of the model has been done. Now the model should train. When I fit the model starts learning. Okay, this may take from few seconds to few hours to few weeks to few months, based on the size of your data. This is a very simple data, so I am just running it for 5 epochs to train my model. Okay, I am fitting the model. Okay, so the model has run now. I have just trained it for 5 epochs. Okay, so every step the back propagation happens. The computer learns, the machine learning algorithm learns in the data, training data. That is the whatever handwritten digits we are trying to view. The machine learning model, not getting into too much of the technical part, usually actually gets the data, train on it. Okay, and based on this, the testing will happen. Okay, now they evaluate the performance. I give the test data and evaluate the performance. I perform it using test loss and test accuracy. As you can see, there are 313 testing examples, and I have tested this model using the model which I have built here, the model.fit, which I have used using the training data. Now I take the model separately and I give new testing data to it to evaluate the performance of my model. So if there are 100 testing examples, for example, so on that 95 testing examples are accurately identified by for the model, even for 5 epochs, since this is a very small problem. So it changes, varies, depends upon the problem or the data you use. Okay, so as you can see, the test accuracy is 95% out of 100, which is very good. Now you have tested your model for the whole data set. Now you want to see whether it is identifying a particular number. Okay, now the model has changed. Now you have to give a test input to the model, a random real-time input. For example, you have to identify a license plate number in real time. So you think it off in that scenario, right? Now you have an image from the testing. You take the model, okay, in the predictions, you predict the testing, all the testing examples. Using model.predict, all the test is given and the predictions are stored. That is, for each of the image, what is the prediction? Each of the image, what is the prediction? Okay. So, so by this way, all the predictions are arrived. By this way, all the predictions are arrived. After that, you just check whether the numbers are correctly identified by using displaying only one image. Okay. So as you can see here, I have predicted everything, and the prediction of 1000th test example is what? So what is the 1000th test example which is being given? Okay, so what is the 1000th test example which is being given? So it is giving it as 9. So the 1000th test example is 9. That is the model's value. That is the model providing that the 1000th test example is a 9. Now I want to check that whether it is a 9. When I'm checking, it is 9. I'm just visualizing the data. I'm not doing any testing here. Here only I'm doing the testing, and I am just showing you the number that this is the value that the model has predicted, and I am just verifying it with the actual test data, and it's actually 9. So it's true. Okay. So this is how a simple machine learning model works. You prepare the training and testing data. You provide the training data. I mean, you normalize the training data to scale down and make the computation easier. Then you give it to a neural network to train the system, and the model is being trained. Okay. So it might take from 5 minutes to 5 months, whatever it is based on the data. Okay. After that, you test the data using the testing data set. So you are getting an accuracy of 95%. For 100 examples, you are getting 95%, 95 examples correct prediction. Okay. And after that, you are just visualizing one particular number and checking. This is like real-time testing. You are giving a random input and checking whether it is working. And it is, the model is showing that this particular 1000th test example is 9. And after that, I'm checking that. And when I can see that it is 9 in the testing data. So the model's prediction is correct 100% for this particular example. So this is what is your basic machine learning engineer would do, guys. So this is a very simple thing to start with. So I think I have given you enough insights over this. So I think now we will be closing the session, and we'll be also sending you a feedback form. And before that, if you have any questions, you can kindly ask me. So whatever in the chat box, or yeah, you can unmute yourself and speak. So whatever it is, you can ask me now. So this is your question answering session. Thank you so much for gathering here, guys. So you can please ask your questions.
Dear participants, we have posted the attendance link and the feedback form in the chat box. So kindly fill your attendance in the feedback form. Dear participants, kindly give your attendance in the feedback form, which is posted in the chat box. Deepak sir, Nitin Kumar has raised the hand.
Yes, Nitin Kumar, yeah, you can post your question or you can just speak. Yeah, the accuracy of the output depends upon the number of layers or not. Actually, this is very subjective. I mean, okay, Nitin, it's not Nitin Kumar. Okay, I'll also come back to Nitin Kumar. That's not an issue. Pinjala Shiva, yeah, great. That's a great question, guy. Actually, it all happens very subjective. So for a very simple data, there are two types of data. One is linear data, and another one is non-linear data. So the basic intuition is that for simple data, the accuracy will be good for less number of layers. Okay, the accuracy will be good for less number of layers. But when you go to non-linear data, where the data is very complex, you have very much data. My PhD problem, I deal with video data. So the data is very much. So I have increased the layers, and I have observed that there is an improved accuracy. Okay, but this is not true in all the sense. Sometimes even when you have large amount of data or non-linear data, it might work good with the very small number of layers. So what I'm trying to say is experiment it. Make a trial and error observation of how many layers you add to the layer. Okay, how many layers you add to the network. Okay, so the accuracy of the output does not directly depend upon the layers. Sometimes the model overfits when you add additional number of layers. So the only way you can observe is that by a trade-off, by a trial and error method. Okay, so you can just rigorously should experiment with low number of layers, high number of layers. What is the observation? So you should note everything, and based on that only you can come to a conclusion. I think your doubt is clear. So Nitin, what is your doubt? Can Nitin post it on the chat box, or you can just ask. That's a very good question by actually Shiva. Very good. Yeah, he has some understanding over the neural networks. Nitin? Sir, unmute பண்ணலாமா நிதின்? Sir, so any other question, guys, you can just post it on the chat box. So tomorrow you are having a very interesting session on creating drones. So most of you might have been interested. So please don't ignore it. So it might be very useful for you if you want to get into the easy section. So tomorrow is your starter pack. So you can get into it and know about drones. So guys, any more questions? So I think Shiva is clear with the doubt now, right? Or you have still more doubts, Shiva? Is it clear for you? Okay.
Dear participants, fill the feedback form without fill, because that gives you a presence of your certificate.
Yeah, you will be all be given a certificate based on that. So please follow what Sarah said. So you can fill your feedback forms. Thank you.
So by every day end, we'll be posting the attendance. The attendance of the feedback form. So by submitting your feedback form only, we'll be producing your certificates. So without fill the feedback form. 2 participants have raised the hand. Yes, you can raise your questions.
Yeah, please raise your questions, guys. Sir, can they unmute themselves?
Yeah, they can unmute.
Okay, then why are they waiting? Okay, come on, you can unmute yourselves and go on, guys.
Guys, either you can unmute or
you can just post in the
chat box also. Okay,
I think.
Yes, as of now, I got 55 responses. There were around 134 participants. Yesterday is just an inaugural function, so it is not required, because from today we are going to have all the technical session. So from day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5, that is from 1st June to 4th of June, you'll be getting the feedback form of every day session. Okay, thank you guys for attending today's session, and tomorrow we'll be having a session on how to create your own drones, which has been organized by a mechanical department. So you can make your presence by tomorrow morning. So kindly join by 9:45 so that we can start the event exactly by 10 a.m. Okay, thank you all.